There we go. Test, test, test. I think we're up and running, everybody. Hope you guys have all been having a good day so far today. The market was a little all over the place here, but tonight's Friday night. We'll be talking about a whole bunch of stuff, just not the markets and whatnot. We got some news about Sam Bankman-Fried. We got some news about all this crazy weather going on in the United States. We'll watch a lot of videos about that just for some fun. But this is going to be a pretty chilled, laid-back night, everybody. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff, not just crypto here tonight. Fridays are going to be more of a chill time for us going ahead. So, hey, Bakamono, happy to see you back, man. Hey, Jonathan, good evening, my man. Merry Christmas. Hope you guys are all getting ready to have Christmas with your families. Loki over here chewing on one of my old shoes that I gave him as a little present. He absolutely loves the shoe. Now he's just over here trying to get free treats and whatnot. I don't think you guys can see him. He's kind of over here. There he goes. But yeah. And hey, Stefan, happy to see you back. Doge is performing pretty well. Loki's trying to get a treat over here now. I got his treat for when he's a good dog. Right now, he's had too much to eat today. He's been all over the place, snacking on all this holiday stuff. But Dogecoin's in a really good spot right now. All this news coming out, Elon Musk talking about it more and more. People are starting to get build more hype for it, even if the overall market suggests more bearish moves. You know, it's looking pretty good. There we go. All right, so let's hop on over here to this very fast. Now Loki is just really hyper. I just took him outside. We were just playing, so whenever Loki plays, he's usually in a very hyper mood. And if you guys don't know what's going on in Washington right now, we're like, it's happening right now still. We're having this crazy amount of freezing rain. I can't really describe it because we haven't had this for like years, in my opinion. But basically, just imagine how hilly it is out here. There's a hill just to get down to my house. Everywhere around the sound is basically just like freezing rain, and no matter where you try to go, it's just tons and tons of black ice. Like this is the weather forecast. I was looking at this a while ago. You can see how more and more rain's coming in here, and as you kind of zoom in to where I live, Puyallup, Lakewood, Spanaway, this area, you can see how we're getting a little bit more ice, a little bit more rain and stuff like that. Well, it's all just kind of freezing right now, and it's leading to a whole bunch of cool stuff like this. This was in Seattle today. See if I don't think there's any sound to this, but we'll see.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
But you just see the cars running down the road. Like, you don't drive in this
Holy
weather. So
shit.
I've been staying home. I got groceries today from Instacart because I didn't want to drive like the 3 miles to
Oh
get
my
some
god.
groceries and stuff like that. So I got some like
Oh my
sourdough bread,
god.
stuff for mac and cheese
Oh
tomorrow.
my
But it's
god.
getting more and more bad out here. We're okay with snow out here in the
Holy
Northwest. People
shit.
make fun of us, but this is the main reason
Holy
people
shit.
have accidents this time of year. It's all about the
Oh my
ice,
god.
guys. Let's see
Oh.
right here. And hey, Bideford, Merry Christmas as well. Hope you guys are doing well. In New York, we're getting flooding. We're not getting flooding, luckily. We're just getting a lot of ice. I hear New York and the East Coast is just getting slammed with a whole bunch of different stuff. I remember watching a few of the football games last weekend, and man, I know the Buffalo game at the very end was just getting hammered with snow. Seattle, luckily, we're just ice, but people are still going out and driving like they have to get to work because it's still a Friday, and I feel really bad for them because they're just getting tons and tons of accidents. These guys are wearing hiking gear basically in order to go walking around the street. I mean, just imagine trying to drive over that. Just imagine trying to walk over that. I was planning on taking Loki out to the dog park today, but that was a big no. I'm going to see if I can take him tomorrow, and I'm taking him all the way out to Chambers Bay. But if it's too icy, we're just going to walk like a mile or two to get to a park and a golf course near me, and I'll just throw the ball around there because nobody's going to be out there. But basically, like, imagine this. Imagine going and walking on these streets and you see people ice skating. That's how much ice there is on the roads right now. Actually, I don't know how much ice you need for ice skating, but it's pretty bizarre to me. I'm not used to it. But yeah, just cars going down hills left and right, pushing down trucks who keep on going down, hitting other trucks. Usually they have signs out, but I guess they didn't. All I'm looking at right now is just tons and tons of cars just sliding down the hills. And I've been to a lot of these places, so I know exactly where they are. And man, like just sliding and crashing into a car right there. But see, you could also do chill ice skating if you're in this cul-de-sac like I am. I didn't see my neighbors out today. Everybody was just kind of hunkered inside, not doing anything. But you could even see, I don't even know what these people are doing. Oh, they're just sliding down the hill. There you go. Not bad though. And hey, the real transporter, thanks for that message on Twitter. Dude, I don't know how these people are doing it. I don't know how many people have ice skates. But man, they're making it work. Even with a little car. Don't slip and slide. Oh! Just disappeared underneath the Jeep. Yeah, so basically, looking at all this today, I've been staying inside. I've been getting prepared for maybe a little bit of a winter storm and stuff like that. I don't want to deal with it. They said it's supposed to warm up a little bit, but they already said it was supposed to be raining right now, and it's still frozen rain, and everything is just getting iced over. Excuse me. So hopefully, I get to have my power on for a little bit later. Now, as far as Bitcoin and everything, everybody, let me take a sip of water. I'm still dealing with whatever cold throat thing I had before. We had talked about this, and I told you guys about 24 to 48 hours. We're probably going to have a big move one way or the other. You guys can see as far as the Bitcoin's concerned here, and actually we'll go into Ethereum here in a few minutes. You can see we're about to have a golden cross here where the 20-day moving average crosses above the 50-day. The last few times it's happened, it's led to a small increase in the price movement. So from here to here, you can see we did have a little bit of a movement. You can see how we dipped before we went up. But, you know, if you bought at that point, you could have still walked away with like 7-8%. Okay, probably 7%. The last golden cross over here, you bought around there, we still ended up moving up. So I'm hoping for a move similar to that, or maybe, if I can just get this off right now, we find our way to get back up towards 18,000, maybe if we're really lucky, at $19,000. It'll really depend on how the rest of the year goes for the stock market, but we're all bouncing off of a bunch of support levels right now. We'll probably in January test out some lows again, but there is an opportunity for the last week of the year to actually have a big pop here. Excuse me. That pop is going to need to happen over the next few days, though. Hopefully before Christmas, but it would really have to start, in my opinion, over the next 24 hours, 24 to 48 hours. Yeah, because I said 24 to 48 hours yesterday, and so we just started at 24 hours. So yeah, another 24 hours basically until like maybe Saturday at the latest. So I'm hoping to have a little bit of a pop there. And as you guys know, I'm a big proponent for the Fibonacci extension tools here. There we go. Let's drag this down a little bit more. If you guys do want to play with the pop here, usually when we do break out above the 20-day moving average and the 50, you guys can see how we do have some sizable moves there. Broke above here, did have some sizable moves. So, you know, I'm hoping that we can actually just, if I'm going to be buying right now, which I've actually done one long right now, just in case, one long. I didn't do a short, I did a long because I want to have a Christmas miracle, so to speak. I have a short-term scale-out goal of around 17,365, and if it does get really, really good, I have another price target up here of 17,708, and then one up here towards 18,049. Really, I'm just going to try to get out of this position by 18,000. Might leave 5% in, 10% in to see if it gets all the way back up here to the white line. Number one, that's usually where I scale out, but you never know at this point because the resistance levels are all kind of in here. We would have to get back into that murkiness there, which we could. And, you know, and by then I think we would actually just be fighting with that 200 daily moving average. So I have placed a short-term long here as a trade. My stop loss is right over here around 16,255, the lows from just the past week. But I want to see how this plays out. The fact that it looks like we have a good opportunity to have a golden cross, that's what I'm hoping for. I wanted to wait for us to pop up a little bit more, but it didn't happen. So I'm just taking a little bit of a shot here to see what happens. On the 15-minute charts here, as far as Bitcoin's concerned, we're still going sideways and still really testing out that Fibonacci extension level. At least we're testing it out. At least we haven't given up yet. They tried to hit us hard yesterday. We had talked about that. We managed to rebound pretty well. I'm hoping we can continue to stay strong and try to have a big pop here over the next 24 hours. That may take some time, but you know what? Overall, guys, I'm not too worried about it. And hey, GT, happy to see you back, man. I hope you're dealing well. My man stole your line, by the way. Oh, no worries, man. Excuse me. But what do you call it? As far as Ethereum's concerned, you can see that similar chart here on the 15. But on the daily, we did have a short-term breakdown. We saw that we kind of fit back down here towards the support level. But the same thing is happening. We have an opportunity to have a golden cross here and pump up above both the 20 and the 50-day moving averages. That's why I am buying right now. I'm hopeful that we can have a big pop. You know, as I look at the last few weeks here and how much, you know, crypto has come down. So you see over here in the last 30 days, so to speak, you know, BNB is down 18%, XRP is down 7%, Dogecoin's down 7%, ADA is down 20%, Matic is down 9%, Polkadot's down 18, Litecoin's down 15, Sheep's down 9, Solana's down 18, Uniswap's down 5, and so forth, right? I think there's an opportunity to have a nice little pop here, depending on which coins you guys are looking at. You guys can see right here that Ethereum Classic has come down quite a bit from those support levels, even going over here on the weekly chart. It officially had that breakdown here. But, you know, whenever you have moments like this, there's always an opportunity to kind of pop back up here towards 20 bucks or so. So I'm hoping we may have something like that to finish off, or at least for Ethereum Classic, so to speak. Maybe just get back around $18 or so. If it gets back up to $18 or just get to that support level, you know, then we're looking at about 11% profit. That's all I'm really expecting here. I don't know if we're going to do something really crazy parabolic. I'm not really pricing that in. Right now, I'm just pricing a pop for Bitcoin and Ethereum that would really boost up altcoins here to finish off the year, especially because it looks like we're so close to having a golden cross. They don't, you know, the golden crosses don't always work, but you know what? I'm taking a chance right now. Dogecoin, we're still waiting to see what happens here. We talked about this a little bit. Go over here very fast. We can just start over. There you go. There you go. Nice little downtrend, finding some support. Sorry guys, I've been busy all day. My throat still hurts. I've been busy, but mostly typing, not talking. But yeah, so you can see we've been bouncing off of support levels here. Dogecoin, again, with all this news flowing around, it could try to make its way back up to 9 cents. That'd be a pretty decent profit if you were to buy now around 17%. I'm hoping for one last bounce. I don't think we're going to break out of this unless we have some really crazy, like mind-boggling news. But I'm happy to say, hey, you know, we might have an opportunity to have a quick pop here. All we have to wait for, though, is Bitcoin to pop off and Ethereum above those 20 and 50-day moving averages. Everything else is following those two, if you ask me. You know, BNB is still oversold. I told you guys I bought some BNB. I opened up some BNB shorts a few days ago, and I remember I specifically told you I probably shouldn't buy right now because it'll pop back up. It did pop back up. Those BNB shorts, or one of them is down 10%, the other one is down 40%. And I'm continuing to hold on to them for the long term here because I just want to see what happens with all the FUD going around with Binance and stuff like that. I want to see if those actually do make me money in the long term here. Hopefully none of them get stopped out because I do have stop losses for those ones. But even at 40 cents, there's 40% down. There's no chance of a stop loss there. But yeah, so that's what I'm kind of seeing right now in the marketplace. I'm hoping we can have a nice little pop. But, you know, there's a lot of coins out there that have been trying to rally these last few days. Crowcoin's been trying to pop back up. XLM's been trying to hold on, right? See a lot of stuff trying to hold on right now. Spell token right here had a little bit of a pop, then it came back down. I'm playing it safe, and I'm just hoping for a pretty large move. Because right now, the overall market, it's just been kind of going sideways these last few days. And that's fine. A couple other things I want you guys to know about. This is something we talked about a little bit, but this is kind of... I think it was big news because Twitter was talking about it. Everybody was talking about it for a little bit. The IRS is going to delay the tax reporting change for 1099K on Venmo, PayPal business payments. Biden had announced that when he was giving all this money to the IRS, he wasn't going to be coming after people like really making under $400,000. He wasn't going to be going after people like that. You know, kind of pulled a switch 22 on everybody. And I don't even know what that term means, but, you know, he switched it up. He did the political thing where you kind of say one thing, do another thing. And, you know, a lot of these tax agents are really going to be coming after middle class and lower class Americans who have these little gig jobs. So let's say you guys on Fiverr or some of these, like, you know, gig sites where you kind of sell your services for something. It's like, you know, maybe I'm good at art. I'll make an art piece for you for $100 that you can use for something, right? So, you know, if they get through a $600 payment, the IRS will want to see what's going on there. Most people, they don't want to have to pay all those extra taxes. I totally understand it. They're postponing it now, which is very, very good. And it says the pre-2022 threshold for 200 plus transactions with an aggregate above 20,000 remains in place for now. That's probably fine. That means you're actually making money as a company. But for the small things like $600, it does seem a little bit weird that that was something they wanted to emphasize there. Yeah, the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. This is all the weird stuff they drop in these bills that nobody ever knows until it's too late. Just wait till we find out what's going on in the omnibus bill. They just passed it here a few days ago, and I tried to read it, and it was the most confusing bill I have ever read in my life. And I have tried to read some of these bills before. As far as cryptocurrency, they passed a few bills there. I was able to read it. This one is it's over 4,000 pages, and it's just few hundred million there, a few tens of millions there, tens of millions there, a few hundred million there. It just goes on and on and on. It is so much spending. It is absolutely insane. Like I need to figure out how the government can just give me $10 million just like that, and I can just be off to Nicaragua just like that. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to figure out more about that bill later on. But right now, guys, it's a very chill stream. It's a Friday night. Let me know what you guys want to talk about here. Most of the time, I've been looking. I've been looking at debt stats on the United States here because I want to see how much debt we can continue to afford here because the debt is just going up and up and up, and I'm trying to figure out when, not necessarily when it pops or explodes because I never exactly know when that's going to happen. But I want to see if there's any way that the government can kind of plateau its debt so the national debt like stops growing. So like. Oh, I did not spell that right at all. St. Louis Fed. There you go. You can see how over here in like the 90s, it kind of plateaued a little bit. 2010 up here, it kind of didn't really plateau much. Maybe a little bit in 2015. Maybe a little bit in 2016. I was trying to see if there's some way we can just plateau. We can just, like, let's go to 2000. If there's a way we can just not have it keep on going up exponentially like this, or it's just freaking everybody out. At this point, it doesn't really look like it's going to happen anytime soon. We have to hope that the Fed can try to change something up here with all the rate hikes and stuff, and they stop printing money. But at the end of the day, it's not really a Fed issue. It's more of a government issue and how much money they want to spend. Both parties have been spending like a lot. There we go. Let's go back over here to Bitcoin. And hey, Alani, can't pronounce your name properly, but I appreciate you being here, my man. Let's see. But so far, guys, I've just been watching the weather. The weather has been freaking, well, not amazing. It's been freaking wild out here. They keep on giving me these winter storm warnings, but the winter storm warnings aren't for me right now. Where's this at? Oh, it is in Washington, huh? I mean, I don't think I'm going to have a bunch of snow over by me. Right now, we're just having freezing rain, which is a totally different thing. I'd rather have snow than freezing rain right now. I can barely get into my car because the whole thing is like engulfed in a big like a big ice sheet right now, like in the shape of my car. It's pretty cool, but at the time it's like, dude, I need to drive here pretty soon. Other news out there, which I just thought was very interesting, which I normally don't really follow the news cycle, but apparently there was a whole bunch of stuff going on with Twitter today, over on Twitter today, excuse me, about this. The U.S. jury finds rapper Tory Lanez guilty of shooting and wounding Grammy Award-winning star Megan Thee Stallion. So what do you call? Normally you don't see drama like this all over the place, but this was a lot of drama. And I guess now, and this is the BBC, I guess even the BBC had to talk about it. They're even talking about, I guess Tory Lanez must be a very small individual then. But basically there's a whole bunch of people talking about it now. So I normally don't even pay attention to this stuff, but I need to learn more about it. And my personal feed here today, guys, BitBoy's still going crazy at the moment in time. Elon is talking about the tweet impression should be stay on the left or move to the right. I guess over here somewhere. Oh, probably because it's blocking the little arrow things that people do when they're asking, like, should I like this? Should I, something, you know what I mean. So you're saying you prefer the right? Oh, geez. He's making jokes. Anything else here is for that I know about today? Food bar. I always forget how beautiful Brooklyn is until I visit for Christmas. Maybe I should move back here. This is not this is not Brooklyn. Let's see. This was something that you guys might want to know about here. Caroline Ellison admits to the judge that she and others stole billions of dollars from FTX customers, Washington's Wall Street Journal reports. Something I wanted to let you guys know about as well here that was more of a breaking news story. We can go to the New York Post, I guess. So the judge for the case, the trial judge, not the one that gave him bail, the trial judge, not the one that gave him the bail. Judge Ronnie Abrams recuses herself from Sam Bankman-Fried case because her husband's firm had advised FTX before. So there's like a lot of nasty, sticky parts to all this here. So it looks like he's going to get a new trial judge over the next few days. But at this point, guys, if it goes to trial, he's going to get found guilty. I'm like 99.9% sure of it. However, he may try to strike a deal with the Justice Department, plead guilty, and maybe he will only get life with a chance of parole, or maybe he'll only get like 50 or 60 years or something like that. But I'm hoping that his deal is at least for life with parole instead of some type of thing where he can walk out, where it's only like 50, 30, 60 years. I want to be like 150 years with a chance for a parole at 60 years, something like that, right? But I don't know how all that's going to work out. But, because Gary Wang and Caroline, the former lover, have both pled guilty and said he did it, it's going to be very hard for his legal team to actually do much there. And honestly, at this point, I don't know how expensive are those lawyers, right? They just put up the house as collateral for the bail. They have a $3 million house in California, which is not saying much, but it's still a $3 million house. So, I'm curious to see how he was able to get the money. They said some other benefactor was there to pay for part of it. I don't know who that is, but I don't even think they've actually... SBF bail documents. See how that works out. Anti-conscious investing, I guess. I promise you he'll only get 10 to 20 years. I hope not. I know you have influence, but I think there's so many people watching this right now that I think he would have to get more than that. As much as the politicians and these snaky type of individuals, that operate in this type of world, I think they have enough common sense to see that, hey, he has to go away for a while, maybe at least 40 years. But I personally think it'll be a good amount of time because the whole world is pretty much watching this, and he defrauded people from around the world, not just in the United States. I think that's what makes this so much more of an interesting thing to be watching right now. Imagine being worth $30 billion to life in prison. Yeah, that would suck a lot. Let's go over here very fast. Block word to paid. Let's see if we can find this here. Let's see. I want to actually read the document here. That's why I'm hoping to get the document. I don't see it here. The New York Times has a story, but I think they're gonna make me pay to watch it. Yeah, I'm not gonna pay to see it. Although I doubt they actually have the information too. Let me just stop this video. Okay, there you go. Stop the video right there. What's right here? All these pictures, like he just looks like a sneaky individual here. But I guess he's trying to remain put up a strong front to all the stuff going on with him right now. I mean, ooh. How do I get out of this? There we go. Dude, just imagine being him right now. Oh, man. He hasn't had a chance to shave or anything. Dude, these people have tons and tons and tons of free time to... Oh, this is probably their job to go take pictures of this guy. Oh, my gosh. He's a drug lord. They didn't even make him look nice. That was a rough drawing. Let's see. That's his mom, I guess, right there. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Before the proceedings got underway, the accused crypto con huddled with his lawyers Christian, Everdell, and Cohen, who represented high-profile sex offender, I forgot how to say it, Maxwell. Ghislaine? I don't know how to pronounce it. Maxwell earlier this year. I mean, this whole thing is so this should be a movie. This should be a movie about how crazy all this was. Uh, let's see. I don't know though where it is. So, under the deal, Bankman-Fried was required to turn himself into pretrial services in the Northern District of California by 10 a.m. Friday ahead of the January 3rd pretrial hearing. Excuse me. He will be able to leave his parents' house for exercise and mental health and substance abuse treatments, but he would be forbidden to make non-sanctioned transactions above $1,000, with the exception of legal fees, according to prosecutors. He is also required to surrender his travel documents and agree to not to conduct any new credit or business dealings. So that's pretty obvious right there. Oh, let me stop this from going too. So FTX's value sunk from 32 billion to 1 billion. Yes. I don't know how people find these documents. Gizmodo. Let's see. Maybe CNBC. This is the article they're probably referencing here. No, I don't see the documents here. That's kind of annoying. I just want to see the document. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. But those documents, I love to see them because then you can actually read exactly what's going on. Normally, when the media gets them, you get most of the story, but not all the story. It's better just to read the documents here. Let's see. But I bet for those lawyers, his parents or Sam Bankman, they probably had to reach into some of their retirement accounts and sell a lot of assets off. And if they're selling assets off in order to pay for the lawyers, they're going to have to pay capital gains taxes next year as well. So they're going to be in a lot of pain. Well, any asset that they really had to sell, they're going to pay some type of tax on it. Especially in California, they tax you a lot. So here. And hey, Captain Arma. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all the investors out there and here and around the world. Dude, it's going to be a good next year. I know we're going to have a rough beginning, but overall, I think next year will be fantastic for just day traders out there, swing traders. Once the market calms down and stops looking at inflation as much, we should have a lot easier breakouts, breakdowns, and stuff like that. It'll be choppy, but choppiness isn't a bad thing, especially when you see these waves. Is it a bad sign for crypto if he gets off light? No. I think right now, for the future of crypto, I'm not really looking too much at what happens to Sam Bankman-Fried as far as how much time he gets. For me, it's more of what type of bills does Congress put forward over the next few months, because they wanted to put forward the Sam Bankman-Fried bill, which he had a whole bunch of influence on, but rightfully so, a lot of Republicans and Democrats came out that aren't really haven't been bought yet by Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX. And they basically said, why would we pass this bill knowing his fingerprints are all over it? It makes no sense. Let's start from scratch with all the knowledge we know now, and let's make something new, better, that can actually help keep these problems from occurring in the future and help put some guardrails into this new industry, which continues to grow at a very rapid pace. That's what I'm kind of more interested in. I haven't seen many bills on the floor just yet, maybe a couple of proposals, but I have a friend who specializes in all this legal stuff here. I'm going to ask her to come on the channel one day and just make a video with me to kind of explain it. I don't think it'll probably get many views because, again, it's not going to be something entertaining. But if you guys want to actually understand what's in the bill, I will be happy to post that down the road here. I was just hanging out with her at the Optimism Brewing in downtown Seattle up on Capitol Hill, but she had to fly back over to Minnesota or Michigan, one of the two, to be with her family. Holidays and whatnot. So I don't think I'll be able to see her before or until after the holidays are over. But she's very smart in this type of stuff. She's been doing this for decades, so she knows everything about legalese. So I want to let you guys know exactly what's being proposed. That way, you guys can kind of understand the circumstances of what may happen. there are so many wild things that could happen based on regulation. Like pretty soon, Binance may have to do a lot of different stuff. Maybe maybe Coinbase will have to change up some of their stuff. Robinhood may have to change up some of their stuff. Anybody that has their fingers in crypto, as far as an exchange or a business, they're going to have to do a whole overhaul of how they actually report their information, how the government gets it, what they can do with their money as far as hedge funds and stuff. All that's going to be gone. And usually, what that means is if there's less ways to make money off of your money, like FTX put their money in hedge funds, Voyager, 3 Arrows Capital. There might be a fine line there that says, hey, now you can no longer do that. You can no longer give out loans to hedge funds, or if you give out a loan to a hedge fund, it cannot be with more than a 2-3x leverage type of thing, right? I'd prefer just not to have that in the first place. But what that does at the end of the day is that takes away a revenue source from that exchange. And so they're going to try to find another way to get it, which may mean maybe they're going to charge more for fees, because fees up to this point have been very, very cheap, if you ask me. Or maybe they have to find another way to make money out there. Maybe they do order flow sales for crypto. I have no idea. But that's some of the stuff we're going to have to sort out over the next few years here. Now, I'm optimistic. I'm still buying crypto no matter how low Bitcoin goes, Dogecoin goes, Ethereum Classic, STMX, Solana, Matic, stuff like that. No matter how low they go, I'm going to continue to keep buying because I believe in the projects, and I believe over time, as Bitcoin gets more regulated, institutional money is going to be flowing in here. You think about how much money is in the stock market, whether it's the NASDAQ, the SPY, Dow Jones Industrial Average. I want to have that similar type of money in crypto. But the beautiful thing about crypto is it's not just like the money is in the NASDAQ or the SPY or the Dow Jones. Bitcoin, it's the global, it's a global market. So when I'm selling off my Binance coin or my Dogecoin or my Bitcoin during the next all-time high rally, somebody from across the world has the opportunity to buy it there depending on which exchange I'm working on. That's what makes it so interesting. So all the money can just flow into those assets, where normally, you can buy Microsoft on a whole bunch of different exchanges, not just the American exchange, right? Bitcoin doesn't have that problem, which is why I think Bitcoin can go so much higher. And I think we always forget about crypto and Bitcoin because we think about, Bitcoin is $16,000, $17,000. When in reality, it's a $323 billion market cap. Ethereum, $1,200, $150 billion market cap. You put that up with some of the other big dogs, and you kind of understand where they're at and how much further they can go up. If we go over here to a good old little FinViz screener, market cap, 200 billion and more. Right now, it's up with Apple, who has over quite a bit more. ABBV up here, 293. Amazon up here, $875 billion market cap. ASML Holdings, semiconductors, basically out of the Netherlands, that's 228 billion right there. Avgo is 235. Maybe I should just go over here, market cap. This the lows? Yeah, it's the lows right here. So again, we got Bitcoin over here at around 323. This is, where's all my stuff going? There we go. Sorry, guys. 329. It's at the same market cap as the Home Depot. All right. Now just wait for the next bull market. Everything goes really crazy again. You'll see how it goes. It starts to boom up closer to what we've been seeing over the past few years. But let's go over here. The higher market caps: Apple, Microsoft, Google, another Google here for the different asset class there. But you got Amazon, Berkshire Hathaway, United Group Health, Johnson & Johnson, ExxonMobil. It's getting close to ExxonMobil territory. Oh, yeah, it probably was over ExxonMobil territory last year. But Tesla, after Tesla's come down so much, 408 billion. Taiwan Semiconductor Company, Walmart, Visa. We have a long way to go, and we have a lot of institutional money. The thing about this is when you see Apple on the U.S. exchange, this is the U.S. exchange of how much money is invested in it right now. There's how much is it on the, I don't know how the other exchanges are, but if you go to CNBC, you see all this Nikkei and stuff like that. All the other global exchanges, there are investments you can do there as well. So there's plenty of money across the world to pump into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and coins that have proven themselves to have value. I bet in 2 years' time, like the majority of shit coins are going to just be out of the market because the government has said if there's no utility to them, they should not be on an exchange. And then what may happen is you may see an over-the-counter version of an exchange for those coins who really don't have a utility. They're not really doing anything. They're just like, oh wow, we have a cool logo. Buy our coin and make us rich. So if they don't have a utility, it's going to be very, very hard for them to end up on a Binance or something like that. Because if you go over to, I don't know, how do I do this? Exchanges, spot, Binance. There you go. You can see everything you can buy on here. And there's a lot of duplicates because of different stable coins. But you see all this stuff. A lot of this isn't going to be available to be purchased down the road, right? Load more. There's so much here. Like League of Kingdoms Arena. I don't know what this is, but let me check it out. This is rank 433, has a market cap of 29 million. Very, very small market cap here. Very, very small market cap. Had a little bit of a pump over the last few days, actually. But if they aren't really doing anything, they might not be able to be on Binance exchanges down the road. Now, personally, I mean, this thing, it looks like they're actually doing something, especially with a name like this, League of Kingdoms, right? Some type of mobile app. They have their token. I won't watch the video because, I can mess up here from YouTube's point of view. But, it could be interesting. But, depending on how the laws are written, it can be hard for a coin like that to actually get on an exchange going forward. So you might even see a huge run for exchanges next year before maybe the laws get passed. See, you can look up court documents publicly by state. I do not know how to do that. I'm not used to the New York system at all. All I try to look for is Sam Bankman-Fried documents. No, bail documents. Sam Bankman-Fried bail documents. And all I get is new stuff here. Maybe Business Insider. Let's see. Nope. Manhattan Federal Court. Response to COVID. Proceedings and events. Sam Bankman. No, same. It's part of. They're using Sam as in same. I don't see anything here. I mean, I doubt they would make it easy to find these days, but nope, I don't see anything there. We may find some news over the next few days, but if you guys find anything, let me know. But I have tried to find those documents and I cannot. I just want to see the paperwork for exactly why this is happening. CNBC alluded to paperwork that they are looking at. I just don't know where they got it. And if this, hope you're feeling much better. Where do you think ADA can pop off if the market decides to have a bit of a rally? So ADA, I'd probably look for that next level of resistance here. So we got the weekly chart here. ADA has just been hit a lot harder. I remember when we were talking about this a few months ago, and we were like, hey, watch out if ADA falls down here. It's going to be a really bad time. Fell down, had a big fake out, big, massive bull trap there, and it just took everybody down with it. Again, not breaking above that 20-week moving average. 20-day moving average has not been a level of resistance at all. I mean, a little bit over here, but most of it's just been pop. Yeah, okay. This hasn't been honoring the 20 or the 50, to be honest. So what I do here is, since we kind of already have a little bit of bottom, so a 4-hour chart. It just keeps on making new lows. It's not finding a strong, like you'd expect this to be a level of support or maybe this or this, but no. While everything else has been going sideways, this thing just keeps on coming down for some reason. And I don't know the reason why, but it just, from a technical reason, I don't know why. It's something that some people just don't feel like they trust it enough. Um, so right now I'm looking at this. We have a little bit of resistance. It looks like around 26 cents, which is just like barely above where we are now. So um, I would say at the least it'd get to 26 and a half cents, 26 to 26 and a half. Yeah. 26 and a quarter to 26 and a half. But personally, if we decide to have a big pop here, we'd be breaking above that resistance zone right here. We might be able to get our way up to 27 cents. So if we were to buy now, I would say somewhere up here around 4 or 5%. Matching back up here, yeah, because both the 50 and the 20 haven't been much. You would want to hope that we could actually have a golden cross here that might lead to something a little bit better here. But as I'm looking at this, let me just empty this out again. You're going to face some resistance back up here towards the 30s. I would say I'd like to hit somewhere between 27 and 30 cents. Let's just call it for now 27 and 29 cents though. Just because this thing has just been getting hit very, very, very hard, unfortunately. But the way this chart looks, it wouldn't happen this week. It would happen next week. So I'm looking at this right now, and I'm like, okay, the weekly chart. Normally, if you have a weekly chart like this that's just dumping like this, it usually takes a week to kind of rebound like that, right? A load of a rebound, right? One testing it down like there, and then it rebounds. One down here where it rebounds. One over here. This one. But that was a really bad week. This one seems like it might not move until next week, so maybe Monday for this. I'm hoping I'm wrong on it, like a little reversal like that. Maybe the whole market will. Maybe Bitcoin will do a fake down. We'll solve the golden cross, and then it will pop off over the next few days. But I'd probably say 28 to 29 cents is what I'd be hoping for. But I'd probably start scaling out around 27 cents because it's about a penny and a half away, penny and a quarter away. There you go. And you can see Bitcoin still testing that resistance level right now. No big problems here, but I like it. And hey, Brandon, well, at least Voyager's been bought by Binance now, so it should make that process a little bit easier, a little bit more quick. I think you have to have a vote on it or something like that, and then after all that, people can start getting part of their funds back. I don't know what that amount is going to be like. Is it going to be 10% back, 20% back, 50% back? We don't know that yet, but I hope it's a good amount. Yeah, we have to wait and see, I guess. But yeah, I know a lot of people do want something back from Voyager. And hey, Tony, happy to see you back, man. D-Race. Let's see. What's D-Race? Let's see it here. And hey, Crypto Indian, what about Ethereum? Thanks, Michael. I appreciate it. Happy holidays. No worries. That's always happy to help you out. These regulations will not be good for alts. That's the majority of my portfolio, unfortunately. Yeah, they will not be as good for altcoins. Don't worry. Like it. I doubt they're gonna go into effect anytime soon. Probably towards the end of next year at the earliest. Because they still have to draft the law. They might have been working on stuff up until this year, but remember, Republicans are taking control of the House in January, so the whole dynamic is getting switched off. Where Democrats are typically more heavy-handed when it comes to regulation, Republicans are more like, okay, we'll regulate, but we don't want to like choke them out, so to speak, right? Maybe even too loose at sometimes, right? But that dynamic is going to have to be worked out, and people are going to have to talk about this stuff in detail for hours and hours and hours. And there's going to be people lobbying them from Coinbase, Binance, KuCoin, Femex, BingX, all there to try to make sure the regulations aren't too much, right? Next year, we start the elections for the 2024 race, so people are going to be starting a campaign and stuff like that as well. Kind of crazy, I know, but that's the way it is. So you may see crypto be part of that conversation. But I don't know if crypto is something that people are passionate enough about to say, hey, I'm a long-standing Republican and I'm going to vote Democrat because Democrats are more pro-crypto, or I'm a long-standing Democrat and I'm going to vote Republican because Republicans are more pro-crypto. I don't think it's going to have that type of power, which is why I'm kind of concerned that the overall people aren't going to have much of a voice in all this, because the priorities are going to be, if we have this election, like I guess the news keeps on portraying, where it's like a Donald Trump against Joe Biden round 2. I don't think people are going to really think of crypto at all, and that the news isn't going to talk about crypto at all. It'll be more of just a wild shit fest, Trump throwing slime at Biden, Biden throwing slime at Trump, and that's all we're probably going to see. Because races can get pretty nasty and heated and whatnot. There's a chance that Biden will not run again in 2022 or 2024, excuse me. He may give it up, and maybe a Buttigieg or Kamala Harris or whoever is up next in line for the Democrats can try to run. And then if Trump loses, he'd probably lose to DeSantis. And DeSantis could probably whip up a large Hispanic vote that Trump has done well with, but probably not as Mexican or Hispanic can get more Hispanics. But I don't know. It's going to be an interesting dynamic. I want to hear more hearings about this. The hearings that we saw about FTX and crypto, they were nice to see this over the past few months, a month or so. But I do want to see more information about what are these guys learning about crypto as far as our senators and House members, and who's advising them. That's really what I want to see, because if you can kind of see who's advising them, who they're listening to on some of these things, you can get an idea of how pro or anti-crypto they are. The head of the Senate Banking Committee is like totally anti-crypto. He doesn't really understand cryptocurrencies, which is really confusing, but he wants to ban them. He has like the smoker's voice type of guy, but they're not going to ban crypto, so don't worry about that. He's more of a joke at this point. But I feel like if maybe he was educated, maybe he would form a different opinion. It could still be a lot of regulation. Maybe he can be very heavy-handed on regulation. But I think to try to suggest that cryptocurrency needs to be banned, it's pretty idiotic at this point. But again, remember why all this stuff is happening. That these next 100 years are just going to be like a crisis mode for America. We can't really control the immigration coming into the country, good or bad, whatever you guys say. I don't care. I'm just saying from a state viewpoint, right? We can't control immigration. Our debt continues to go up. We're having issues as far as the economy right now. We're in a global instability as Russia has, invaded another country. People are freaking out. People are in a heightened alert, and when people are more at a heightened alert like this, wars tend to break out a little bit more. Climate change is affecting the global environments here. More forest fires in California. You got more droughts in the Southwest here. I don't know if you guys see the droughts, but they're pretty bad. Lake Mead is like depressing to look at nowadays. Crazy hurricanes going on in Florida. More spending, more money. All that type of stuff. We're kind of in this weird crisis mode right now. And on top of that, people are going to slowly start losing faith in the dollar, especially as inflation kind of gets out of control, if it continues to get out of control. And on top of that, we have to worry about, what happens when America really can't pay back its debts. I think the debt is like, I forget how much it costs us to pay our debts every year. It's like $1 billion or something like that. Hold on. How much does it cost for America's debt each year? As of November 2022, it costs $103 billion to maintain the debt. So, excuse me, not $1 billion. I was way off. $103 billion a year to maintain the debt. That's kind of expensive, guys. Imagine like your interest charges like hitting $103. Like I just looked at my credit card bill the other day. I was charged $1 in fees. $1 in fees for the debt I had on my credit card. Now, imagine being charged $103 billion every year. We can't keep paying that forever, right? That's what I said, the next 100 years, not the next 5 or 6 years. But yeah, the national debt has increased every year over the past 10 years. This is the California Fed. Oh, I don't know. It's an official government website, though. Right? Debt. Year 1, revenue 400, spending 500, deficit 100. Right? Revenue 600, spending 800, deficit there. And you can see how the debt just continues to grow. And that's just basically what we're doing. And I like how the government knows this, but they just can't stop it. And that's what's going to make everything so crazy. Look at that. Look at that. This is debt over the last 100 years. Oh, inflation adjusted. Inflation adjusted. This is like more realistic. The 80s popped up a little bit more. 2000, right? Wars and whatnot up here. COVID, we just went straight up vertical. But really, you know, everything just went whoosh, really, really bad. And eventually, you know, we're going to have to figure this out. I don't know when, but eventually we are. Federal debt trends over time, 1948 to 2022. Oh, this is debt to GDP right here. Wow, we were really bad in the 60s, 70s, yeah. 80s we picked back up, or back over here. When is this? 80s, yeah. Picked back up right here. And then boom, you know. Only time we were okay is 2000, 2008. Not too bad. So Clinton, Bush years weren't too bad for like debt to GDP, because at least the country was still growing. But Obama, boom. Like, you know, Obama was all the way to here. Trump was all the way to there, right here. And then Biden's right here because GDP is going down a little bit more. So you can see it's pretty, you know, we're in a weird spot. We're in a weird spot. Let's just say that. But it's not going to get better anytime soon from that perspective. It'll be like, I always wish I could always kind of like observe history to see how like humanity and stuff would survive and how everything works out. Because I'm sure we'll find a way to make it work out. I just don't think it's going to be pretty. But, you know, that's probably after we're all gone in the dirt and stuff like that. What do I think about Flux? What is Flux? I'm guessing you're probably talking about some type of crypto coin there. There we go. I need a longer time frame here. Oh, it's on the edge. Well, you know, for now, I would say it's fine. It's like it's a little bit of a support range. I mean, how do you even look at this right now? Because it's not even on the old ones. I'll start off here. Weekly. Yeah. A little bit of a support there. How's this doing? Not really holding any support there at all either. Maybe it's holding support from down here. Little bit. No, not there either. Wow. Hold anything right here? No. Wow. Okay. This thing is really volatile because it's not even following any technicals here. So for now, I would say be careful, because I saw this earlier when I was looking up, when I was imagining a line here. It did have a false breakout, which really, really sucked, unfortunately, for this thing. But I would still have this line on your charts because this is still going to be considered a breakout point. You see how there's resistance up here even after the false breakout? Death cross over there. Support kind of around here. Okay, so I would say there's a support around 40 cents or so. I like it. It's fine for now. If you wanted to play a bounce play, it's at 45 cents. You'd be looking to risk about 5 to 6 cents per the coin. You know, if they just were to take a loss. So if I were to buy right now at 46 cents, it'd be about a 12% loss that you're willing to give up here for a rally. On the resistance side of things, if it were to pop up right now and it goes back up towards that resistance level, you're probably looking at a profit of around 30%. So 2 to 1 right there. It's okay. My concern is that because the market is going to probably take a more downward turn next year, especially in January, February, March, April, May, like Q1, Q2, Q3 are just going to be really, really bad. You are probably going to see this hop back down to like the 23 cent range, 24 cent range, 25 cent range. You might find some hiccups down here around like 28, find some support around here, 25. But this thing will probably have a pretty big dump over the next few months, so just be careful of it. If you believe in the project and what they're doing, I would say your best bet would be to do some dollar cost averaging. Wait, what is Christmas mood? Oh, it said Christmas mood, and it just didn't do anything on my chart. Oh, put a little Christmas tree right here. Oh, okay. Is that all Christmas mood did? That's all Christmas mood did. Okay, I'll take it. You know, if you look at some of these more macro level views, you can see. Well, let me move this up just a little bit. We held support a little bit. We dropped back down. We retested that resistance point, got rejected off of it again, and now we're going more into a sideways trend. But the overall upward trend, it's over right now. So overall, you should see this come back down a little bit. It should break down below this 40-cent level. If you're looking for more of a day trade based off of where Bitcoin's looking right now and how Bitcoin may want to pop above the 20 and 50-day moving averages, you'd be risking about you'd be risking a good amount for the profit, but it might be a little bit too much for most people. Because you're going to be risking, what did I say a few minutes ago? Risking like 13% to make about 30%. It's fine, but you would have to hope that maybe this has a smaller market cap, so maybe it can pop up even more than that, like it did over here. That may be what you're looking for. But in the long run, it'll probably take a big dip, like to around the 30s, 20-cent range before it eventually rallies back up. Anythest, what exchange do you think is next to fall? And Ken, thanks for joining the Sapphire level again. I appreciate it a lot, my man. Next exchange? I mean, I don't know enough about exchanges to tell you exactly which one would fall. I keep on hearing tons and tons of FUD about Binance. Let me make sure I can say his name properly. The Real Transporter was talking about the other day and sent me a message about it. Binance was closing people's accounts. That kind of led to even more FUD there. I would probably say, if anything, Binance, KuCoin, one of those larger exchanges out there. I don't really see many smaller exchanges that I deal with having issues like this, because the smaller exchanges that I know, like the BingX's or the BitGets and stuff like that, they're not really loaning out money like that, like the Celsius's, like the Voyagers, like the FTX's. They're not loaning money, so they really don't have many problems like that. But we'll have to see how Binance holds up and KuCoin. If they were to go bust, so to speak, it would happen next year. It wouldn't happen this year, if you ask me. It'd probably happen towards the Q2. So January, February, March, that's Q1. April, May, June, that's Q2. Somewhere in there, I would assume. The overall market here, as far as we're talking about the Dow, the SPY, the NASDAQ, and all that good stuff, right? Here's the NASDAQ right here. You can see historically when we enter these bear markets, they're not good. Bear market there, bear market there. Everything over here is just beautiful, beautiful upward trends. We had some hiccups now and again, but overall it wasn't like it was a really bad, scary time. But here we are, just looking at a really bad move. We're about to have our death crosses like we did over here and over here. Right? Death crosses. Those both led to really bad moves, right? And we've just kind of only started that because the death crosses haven't even happened yet. If I go over here very fast, let's just zoom in quite a bit. We're not going to have those death crosses until January here for this one. Maybe February for this one over here. So it's going to take a minute, but you guys can see they are moving down pretty fast. It's not like they're they're gradually just going up anymore or just sloping across. No, they're coming down hard. And the further the more they come down, the more resistance is going to be pushed down as well. We have one opportunity, I would say, in January if the Fed reverses some of their actions, which I don't think is going to happen, and the economy, the earnings don't prove to be very bad. We could easily have a crazy event which could cause a death cross here, a death cross there, then a golden cross right afterwards, because the assets just boom back up after all these good things happened. But from everything we know about Jerome Powell right now, he's not going to cut interest rates until inflation is back at 2%. It's going to be a massive game of chicken. And the whole time where there's a game of chicken, the market's going to be going down. But you can see it like the monthly chart here. We're trying to hold above the 50-month moving average right now. Well, guess what? If we stay on this path, we're going to break down below it this month. Right? All we're trying to do right now is just stay above 11,128. We're currently at 10,985. Not too far off. So we want to see a rally there. But technically, it doesn't even mean that we can't just continue to break down to next month. It just means we have one more month of trying to hold. So much stuff has to happen. But again, this is the monthly chart for the NASDAQ. Death cross occurred over here before the bottom, but still over here. So boom, nasty move. Death cross happened way over here. way after the drop occurred. This cross isn't going to happen until maybe 2024 or something like that. I don't know, if we crash down hard, it should happen more. Maybe in fall of 2023, we should have this gold death cross here, excuse me. But I don't think it's going to be an indication of something that's going to happen. I think it'd be even more of a lagger saying, whoa, this already happened, right? Because moving averages are lagging indicators, but they also can tell you what's probably going to happen in the future because it's more of a confirmation of, oh, something bad is really going to happen here. But you even go over here to the SPY. SPY, there we go. Get rid of all that stuff. Bad move there, but both afterwards. Again, this is the monthly chart here. But, again, we're trying to bounce off of the 50-month moving average here. We're not nearly as bad off as the NASDAQ is, but the NASDAQ is tech oversold, layoffs. You know the story of tech this year. It's been a pretty sad one. But, we open up some general, as good as we can do here, Fibonacci levels. These ones really haven't done much good for us because it's been such a wild inflationary tale. Like you could go from here, maybe over here. Maybe does that work out? No. I normally don't do monthly charts. No, that doesn't work out either. Maybe COVID lows. Let's go to the weekly chart here. COVID. Okay, a little bit there, a little bit. We might find some more support around the lows we had just a few months ago in October. That's around 352 as far as the SPY is concerned. But I mean, look at it. We're still heading for all the death crosses here. Everything is screaming so close together. And again, we have the opportunity to have a little bit of reversal, but that's going to be dependent on the Fed and good earnings, which I don't think either are going to be on our side going into January. The Dow Jones looks okay though, but that's the Dow Jones. But let me see. Trend base fib extension. Like maybe it matched up a little bit there. Maybe I'm actually just putting this in the wrong spot. Yeah, a little bit right there, a little bit right there, little teeny bit right there. Yeah, this was a pretty crazy bull market though. Normally you're not going to be doing the fibs for this long. Let's go right here. A little bit right there at the one. Yeah, not too bad. But yeah, it's going to be a rough next year. There's going to be a few exchanges that probably go down, but we don't know which ones they are going to be just yet. I heard the dud on Binance too, but did they go buy Voyager? They won the bid, but they haven't bought it yet, I don't think. I think Voyager clients have to vote on it. What do you mean? And after Voyager votes on it, then Binance will pay them the money, and then they have a time limit to when they have to pay the money. Because if they don't pay the money, then there's a fee, just like with Elon Musk and the fee there. With Twitter, if you didn't buy it, they'll have to pay a fee, which I don't think Binance really wants to pay. So I think Binance should eventually buy Voyager. I just don't know what's going to happen to Voyager. So are they going to just close the app down after they buy it and everybody gets some of their funds back? Or are they going to try to keep Voyager open and try to get it back up and running post-bankruptcy? Because then they probably have to change the name because Voyager is not the name. It's not associated with anything good in the crypto space right now, right? So they would have to find a new name, a new logo, which isn't too expensive for a company like Binance. And then they would have to find a way to get more customers, change the way they do yields, find a way to work with Congress to, and the government to have a good regulated business, right? That's what would have to happen. So for me, what I would do if I were CZ and, managing Binance, I would put somebody in charge of Voyager, have it start up, have people put their money in there, have it be available for users and whatnot. However, I would try to use it as a way to ingratiate myself with Congress. And I would say, hey, Congress, work with me to create a very good crypto app where you think it meets your regulatory goals and framework, but I'm still making money, right? And let's try to work this out together. That's what I would try to do since CZ already has Binance and whatnot. And so we can have a better understanding of how he might find Binance US being regulated. regulated, excuse me. That's what I would be trying to do right now. I don't know if that's their goal. I really doubt it's their goal. However, if they do allow Voyager to keep on chugging along here after it's just been hobbled and with a black eye, with no eye on the other one, right? Fingers cut off, toes cut off, its legs cut off. I don't know. It's just in a really bad spot, right? They're going to have to do a huge marketing PR campaign to change it up. And then I don't know how they're going to do that just yet. But I would like to see them tackle legislation and regulations by going to talk to the SEC, going to talk to the FEC, going to talk to Congress, and just say, hey, help us design a profitable app that meets all of your regulatory, so you can use this as a framework down the road when other exchanges open up across the United States. Something as simple as that. Okay, that's very complicated. It's not simple. But that's something I would really like to see happen. Now, maybe the SEC just says, no, we're not going to help you. Maybe they say that. Maybe Congress is like, no, we don't want to help you make a good app. We don't want to help you with the regulations. Maybe. But I think it would be worth a shot at least. And he does have a microphone on Twitter. Elon could back him up. You could see other people in the crypto space back them up and say, hey, let's do this. Let's figure out exactly what you guys want to do for regulation. And put those guys in a spot where they have to say, hey, here's what we want to see. Here's what we think is good. Here's what we think is bad. And that transparency, I think, would be a great help. The SEC is not transparent. Part of the reason all this crypto fraud has come along is because the SEC really hasn't been going hard at anybody. Now they're going hard because Sam Bankman-Fried's in trouble and because Gary Gensler might be on the hook. People might be saying, oh, he was bought off, so he's had to protect his reputation. They should have been doing stuff like this for a while. At any point, they could have gone to the FTX and say, hey, we want to see your books. We need to see your books for FTX US and where the money's going. We need to see it. It's our right to see it to make sure you guys are doing everything by the books. It could have lasted a year of auditing, all the type of, could have lasted for a while. But I have a feeling that as soon as they saw what was going on, they could have forced them to make some changes here and forced them to close their Alameda positions and move some of that money back over to the regular accounts without any of the hubbub going on, right? So, I want to see, I'm very curious and interested to see what happens or what's in store with Voyager down the road. Because if we go over here to, get this damn microphone out of my face. Voyager app. Oh, Voyager, let me get another sip of water. This website is undergoing updates as we move through a voluntary restructuring process and work towards restore our services on our mobile and web platforms. Okay. It's still here, though. It's still here. Investor relations is over here too. They might have an update. No. Maybe I'll just look up jobs. Do they have? Oh, they don't have jobs anymore. Careers, I guess would be it. What it would be called. Products. Jobs at Voyager. There are no jobs openings at Voyager. Oh, shucks. Oh, they're all closed. Content marketing manager. Yeah. I think that really the only people hiring right now in this space seems to be Gemini. I think it was. Oh, no, was that Kraken? I think it was Kraken. This is Gemini. No, it is Gemini. It is Gemini, yeah. Because they were doing marketing, customer marketing, lead marketing operations, customer insights, legal and compliance, Gemini Prime, finance, accountant, yeah, stuff like that. Data, yeah. So they're hiring. I don't know if these are just on the website or if they're actively hiring for it. Maybe I have an old resume I can toss up there. It's kind of blank ever since I became a trader. But I could probably toss something in there and see if they actually respond to me. But it looks like they're just hiring a bunch of engineers. Look at engineer. Some in England as well. I'll see if I can find any information about that. But yeah, I want to really see what happens with Voyager down the road. Do I think Bitcoin will reach 21,000 before March? Ooh, probably not. Probably not. We would have to have some type of good economic news. Like, so earnings can't go down. So earnings have to stay neutral or go positive. Interest rates have to be stopped. So that means no more hikes. That means we're kind of finding our space. But it seems like he's going to do interest rates for January, February, and March of 25, 25, 25. Then maybe 50, another 50, then another 25, then another 25. We don't actually know that yet. And then when he stops, the market should have a big pop. But I don't know if that's going to be in the March Fed meeting or the April meeting or something else, right? Depends on how inflation's going. Inflation's coming down slowly, so maybe it'll actually happen during the March meeting or the April meeting. Excuse me. Inflation's not going to 2% before March. I would say like a 10% chance it could happen. Not impossible, but very, very unlikely. We would have to see, in my opinion, Bitcoin decouple from the traditional markets like the stock market, the Dow, NASDAQ, yada, yada, yada. And it would have to have a surge for another reason that we don't know about. I don't know what that reason would be, but right now, with the Federal Reserve and stuff like that, I probably don't see it happening. Right now, all I want to see for Bitcoin is maybe we get up to $18,000, $19,000 if we have a really sizable pop. But I'd be perfectly happy just getting it up to $18,000 personally, maybe 19,000, 21,000 could be a little bit harder here. Because I think if we do have this pump up here that could pop us above the 20 and 50-day moving averages, I would assume bears are going to come in within 1 or 2 days after we have that big pop and really just try to crush us down. Maybe within a week or something like that, but they should try to crush us down here pretty substantial crush, so to speak. How many more hikes do you think the Fed has left before they call it? 2 to 3. Maybe a 50 for next month, maybe then 25, then a 25 perhaps. Or it could be a 25, 25, 25. But I think we have at least 2 to 3 probably left over. Let me Google that very fast. This is bank rate. Let's see. 5 officials are penciling in a peak target rate, often referred to as the Fed's terminal rate, to 5.25% to 5.5%. Meanwhile, 2 additional officials see raising rates to 5.5% to 5.7%, which would be the highest level since 2001. Let's see. So the current Fed rate is between 4.25% and 4.5% as of December 14th. And it can get up to around 5 and 5.25%. So maybe 3/4, or maybe a 50.25%, or maybe a 50 2/4. So 2 to 3 at least. 2 to 3 at least. Maybe more than that if the inflation remains sticky. And inflation's been coming down pretty well so far. Right. Got really, really hot over here. It's come back down to 7.1%. It's not terrible. It's not good. But, we want to be down here. That takes months of time. So that's why I think he's going to probably do 2 or 3 and then just stop and see how inflation continues to drop. his ultimate fear here is like a legacy thing, like how he's going to be remembered. Just like the guy from 2008, he's for whatever his name is. He's forever remembered as the guy that could have stopped the financial crisis, but didn't really do anything about it. Oh, what was I going to talk about here? Oh, we had talked about this a while ago. It goes around here, yeah. Oh no, this was the 80s here. So they had to drop this. See, he dropped rates too early, and inflation soared, so they had to pick it back up. He doesn't want to do this. He'd rather just keep it steady and flat until inflation goes down, then lower it down. But you can see what happened here. This is kind of going into what's going on right now. These gray areas you guys are seeing, I think you guys can see them. Yeah. So these gray areas represent a recession, which means 2 negative quarters of GDP growth. At least it did until these past couple of years. Everybody's been saying, oh, well, they've been changing the definition to kind of for political reasons. Always stay with the definitions, regardless of which party you stick with. Doesn't matter. Just keep focused on the definitions. All right, here you can see it went up. It was going up to fight inflation. Then it went down quite a bit, and then all of a sudden, inflation got worse. We had to pick it back up here, and then it went down a little bit more. Then it kept on coming down here during a recession. That by that point, though, inflation was looking a little bit better here. So, he doesn't want to have to do this, right? He blinked, inflation soared back up. That's what's going on in Jerome Powell's mind right now. We don't want to have that happen. Just imagine we go into a recession and he starts cutting rates. Inflation starts getting worse. So all of a sudden, all the people that lost their jobs, now it's even that much more difficult to actually buy stuff. And then he has to raise rates again, which means even more people go off, lose their jobs. It can be a disaster. So might as well just get the pain over all at once and just deal with it. But probably 2 to 3. Do you think all the moves will be news-based now? Good news will be good news and bad news will be bad news, not the opposite like it is now? No, not necessarily. So CNBC is really bad at this. Fox News or Fox Business, does this a little bit, and so does Bloomberg, but not as bad as CNBC. CNBC buys into the hype. CNBC acts like they're moving the markets, and sometimes they do, but not the way you think. When we talk about SPY here, and the NASDAQ, it works on both of these. You guys can see that we're in this downtrend right there. Well, a few weeks ago when we were at this resistance point, I was like, hey, everybody, this is a really big week because if we don't break out above this level, we're most likely going to be coming back down, right? Well, CNBC throughout the whole week that they're talking about this, like, oh, wow, have we priced in the bottom? Are we going to, is this over? It looks, and they'll give you a whole bunch of reasons on this week of why the bottom is in. They'll have all their experts on explaining why the bottom is in, and then all of a sudden, what happens? Technicals take over, right? So they think they can control the news over here, but then all of a sudden, when the market flips back over, you go over to CNBC and you see their tune is completely changed, and it happens every single time. And this is my first bear market myself. However, I've been watching CNBC every day. I've been watching Fox Business every day, like I do always. And they do it here, they do it here, and they do it here. Whenever there's a trend change, oh my gosh, wow, maybe it's not so bad. Woo. And then the people they have on their shows change to match the tune of what the network wants you to hear. Right? Now it's why everyone thinks there's a recession in 2023. I've been telling you guys, I think there's going to be a recession since like July of last year. And it's just weird that they're now just coming across this. Me being an at-home trader, I don't have any formal education in this space. All I know is from what I've read in books. I've been able to kind of say, hey, wow, we're probably going to have an inflation next year with raising interest rates, high inflation, that type of stuff, savings going down, yada, yada, yada. Somehow, Wall Street doesn't understand that, and I don't know how. it's kind of like it's just like in their own world they have their own viewpoints and stuff like that. They're not like being bad actors or stuff like that. They just, when you're sucked into that world, I guess you just perceive things a little bit differently. Which is why last April I was telling you guys, yeah guys, I'm selling off a lot of my assets, my long terms, and I'm just holding the cash in there because I'm afraid that the market's going to have a really bad turnaround. And I said, hey, if it decides to pull back up, I'll be wrong and I'll take a loss because I sold off like 80-90% of all my assets. And so, I'm paying taxes on those this year. But that's fine. Because those, imagine if I didn't sell my Meta. Imagine if I didn't sell my Tesla. I'd be in a lot worse spot for those holdings. So, they do that over and over and over again. So you go over here to the stories, markets. Let's see. This is not the news I thought I was going to be looking at. No, they're not really doing any of those big stories. At least not in the markets part here. Everything's Fed. I don't pay attention. Not Fed. Pro. I don't pay attention to the Pro stuff. Excuse me. Kramer's lightning round. Ugh. No, but you get the point I'm trying to make. They pretend like they're controlling the markets when in reality they're just following the markets and they're like a day behind. But once they catch up, they're like, oh yeah, we knew the markets were going down along. Here's our expert that says, hey, why the markets are going down today. Every now and again they have technical traders on, but they don't understand how to. The anchors don't understand technical traders because technical traders are talking about stuff that they can see in their brain that we can't see. Now imagine you guys looking at this chart right now, but imagine you guys. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. Imagine you guys can't see this chart, and I start talking to you guys about, hey, the S&P is approaching the 200 daily moving average. If it decides to break down below that, it could lead to a death cross between the 20 and 200, which could lead to us dropping down to around 330 from a price target. That type of weird stuff that people can't see visually while they're on CNBC. Those are the most knowledgeable people in my opinion, but they're looking at a lot more data than I am. They have a lot more correlation data, which I love to see. But they don't really show it to you. They just kind of talk about it. I'd like to see it, but I don't have access to all that stuff because it costs a lot of money for that data. Because people make a lot of money off the data, right? There we go. And hey, Bedford, I believe rates will end up around 550 to 575. Two of the board members actually agree with you on that one. It'll be interesting to see how far he takes it. But I think towards the end, he'll probably be going by 25, 25, 25. So he might have a 50 in January, and then 25 in February, 25 in March, 25 in April, possibly 25 after that. If that was to happen, 2023 would be a lot worse throughout the rest of the year, which would really suck. Because that means the bottom might happen more in 2022 or more in quarter 2, quarter 3 instead of like quarter 2 that I'm thinking right now. Which, that doesn't change up too much stuff here, but it's a couple more months of just being in a bearish mood where nothing fun is happening, nothing good is happening. During that time frame, especially next year, you guys are going to see me put out a lot more tutorials, and you guys are going to see me put out a lot more that big tutorial and a lot more finance and educational content videos. I posted a video today about budgeting, but nobody watched it because I don't think it had a good thumbnail. Don't worry about it. But I'm going to keep on posting videos like that and stuff. And, I think today let me see if I can find it. Go to my Google Drive here. I was going through patterns. Pattern explanations because I'm about to make a video about patterns and as part of the larger technical analysis video I'm making for you guys. But a symmetrical triangle. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to read all of this stuff out for you guys without stuttering, which I have a big stutterer when I talk about stuff like this. But, what's a symmetrical triangle? Then we'll go over here. So basically, you guys don't have that picture of all 20 patterns. I'll be having a little, I don't know how many words this is. Word count. How do you do word count on this thing? Tools. There you go. 191 words, times 20. Probably doing around 3,800 words for this tutorials. And that's just for the patterns, right? But I'm making progress, and I'm making a lot of progress with it actually right now, which has been pretty fun. When everything's working smooth, I like it a lot. But and then more videos where I'm talking with other people. I'm gonna see if I can have some NFT people on the show so I can learn more about NFTs to kind of guide you through it, because I'm still seeing a lot of stuff in my Twitter feed that's like people buying other people's NFTs, and I still don't see the value in that. I see the value from a corporation standpoint or an entertainment standpoint for like a musician and stuff. I'm still trying to understand the value of I make a picture. Why should you buy my picture? Okay, I'm an influencer, so maybe that's a little bit weird. So maybe there's a value behind it. So there's probably is that. But like for just an artist out there, it's kind of weird. Maybe because I don't see much value in art. I see value in art, but not in purchasing art, if that makes sense. I never want to buy art unless it's something I really, really enjoy. And even then, it's something completely different. Like at the Seattle Art Museum, I love the art there, but it's something more of a conquest thing over there. And the Santa Claus is a great movie. I love Tim Allen in those movies. I haven't watched the new Santa Claus movie. Me and Loki are watching that tomorrow. We're going to be... So my mom and sister are making mac and cheese right now, and they're going to go to my grandparents' house tomorrow for the holidays for Christmas Eve and Christmas. Again, I don't get along with my grandparents. I think you guys all know this by now. Got tired with all this stuff. Just like cut it off, which has been good for my mental health. But me and Loki are going to be making a whole duck tomorrow. I made Loki 3 whole batches of dog food, like homemade dog food with chicken, beef, grains, carrots, broccoli. Oh, was it broccoli? Some green beans, some other type of bean thing, and a whole bunch of stuff. And he's been chomping it down like wild. So I'm really happy with myself with that he likes his little Christmas present, plus bones and stuff. But we're going to be watching the Santa Claus movie and just a couple holiday movies. And then, we're going to the dog park tomorrow morning as well. So there's going to be a lot of stuff we're going on here. But, and I'm making mac and cheese and green beans for myself. And maybe something else. I don't know what. Oh, and I'm making a sandwich tonight. I saw a TikTok with the sourdough bread. And so I bought some sourdough bread. I Instacarted sourdough bread over to my house, 2 big long loaves, some nice sliced deli roast beef, some cheese, some arugula, some baby spinach, some olive oil, and some of those matzo balls chopped up in the olive oil. Spritz it on top, get it all toasty. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be really, really good. But that's what I'm doing over the next few days. I'm really excited for it. And then, all the well wishes to all my friends and family and stuff like that. And then for Christmas, I don't know what I'm going to be doing for Christmas. Probably opening some gifts, taking Loki to the dog park again, because he's needed more exercise lately. I haven't been taking him out as long because it's been so cold outside. Probably drinking some hot cocoa. Good way to go. It should be 6 to 7% at minimum. Not that news, real news like jobs numbers. What do you call it? Yeah, it's not the news you think it's going to be. Like if you watch CNBC, Fox Business, any of those type of channels, they give you a little bit of information, and they're valuable to watch. I watch them for a reason, right? But yeah, it's not like I trade based off of what the people are telling me to trade off of, especially the anchors. The anchors are a lot of times on power trips, and I really don't like the anchors. There's an older one in the morning who's more of a Republican guy. He's pretty fun to watch. There's one that's a little bit more Democratic also in the morning that I like to watch. What is it? Sorelli, I forget his name. He's okay. Santelli's okay. All the Italian names. There's a bald African American there. I don't like him. He's one of those guys that fudges the truth to try to make the story seem bigger than it is. He really irritates me. And then normally, Steve Leisman, I like the bald guy who does the reporting. He's fine. There's a younger black guy on the channel now. I don't really know their names, but there's a younger black guy in like one of their 4-person panel things. I like him a lot. But I mean, Josh Brown is somebody I really like. He's probably my favorite. Then you got Jim Cramer, who I don't even watch. Anytime Jim Cramer is on, I don't even pay attention to it, unless I want to show you guys something down the road with Jim Cramer. But I don't watch Jim Cramer at all. He has the worst points ever. And hey, Richard, happy to see you back, man. It's Friday, Mike. Where's the whiskey? Whiskey's upstairs. I have like this throat issue going on that I got a few days ago, and I've just like been trying to get over like whatever sickness this is. So I've been drinking tons of water. Although I did have a margarita a few nights ago, but I guess that was before this happened. Next Friday, you have my word. I will bring some whiskey down. I got some Canadian whiskey. I got some Jameson whiskey. And I have some McCallahan whiskey. And I have some another type of whiskey as well. I got a bunch of whiskey here, though. And I only have one bottle of... No, I got like 3 bottles of wine left. That's a travesty. I need to go up to the store and pick up some more. I order them every month, but I just don't pick them up every month. But we'll drink some whiskey next week. I want to see if there's a way I can just drink whiskey on stream with you guys without getting in trouble by YouTube. I think what I might have to do is just not have a clear glass when I'm talking to you guys. I might need to have a mug, something like this, coffee mug. Just drinking coffee a little bit ago. Maybe a coffee mug will do the trick, and so nobody knows. Or maybe I'll drink coffee and whiskey together to keep me up at night because I need to be up a lot. Well, not really these next couple weeks, but normally when I'm working a lot, crypto. There we go. But if any of you guys have questions, let me know. I'm gonna get rid of a lot of tabs over here because I have so many tabs open right now. Now I only got 2. I want to see what the weather is like where I'm at. There we go. Yeah, I'm down here. Oh, this is okay. Let's see. It's 7:30 now, so it says right now. Wait, everything just goes away? Wait, what? There it goes. Okay, it keeps going. Okay. But mostly where I'm at, okay, it goes away quite a bit. Okay. So it shouldn't be too bad. And it's not snowing over here, which is nice. Because it's Tacoma, then Seattle's up here. And the mountains looks like it's pretty bad. But I'll take the water any day over the ice that we've been having over the past few months. The ice is the last few hours. The ice has been horrible. There you go. See, and hey, Richard. Hi, Michael. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much. Hope you're doing well as well. Excuse me. Can you sometimes share ideas or knowledge on how to protect oneself from the coming inflation, property, gold, shares, etc.? Yeah, I could do that. I could probably make a video about that. Actually, probably like a 3 to 4 minute video, maybe 3 to 5 minute video. Primarily right now, like I have a little bit of money in gold. I don't own any real estate because I'm thinking of buying some in Nicaragua. For me, it's honestly just holding cash and having the discipline and whereabouts to save money properly. So, because like it's coming inflation, but plus recession, that's going to make the things hard. So right now, there's I talked about this in a video I literally made today. I didn't get much traction. Like I got like horrible traction. It's not like my normal thumbnails. That's why. This thing, yeah, it only got 37 views today. Only 37 views, like one of my worst videos ever of the year. This would be 44 views, a little bit better. But basically, one thing that I talk about in here is there's a simple 50, 30, 20 strategy. So 50% of your budget goes towards your needs, like your rent, your car payments, your insurance payment, your bills, that type of stuff, right? Food, groceries, gas. Excuse me, 50% goes to that. Then you have 30%. That 30% goes to... Okay. that goes to your wants. So like if you want to go out and have fun with your friends, you want to go to the movies, you want to go on a vacation, that's that 30%. And then you have 20%. That 20% is retirement, it's savings accounts, it's paying off debts, right? That's what it's for. Right now, because I'm more fearful of a recession, I flip the 30 and 20 in the 50-30-20 rule. So what I do is 50% towards all my needs, right? All my needs. It's for me, it's a little bit different because I make enough money where my needs are kind of met really early on. So it's a really heavy savings plan for me, primarily because I want to buy a house. But I do 30% for savings, paying off debts. I don't really have any debt right now, but paying off debts and just savings, right? So I'm adding to my savings accounts. And then only 20% for actually going out and having fun and drinking around the town. And I'm not even hitting my 20% right now because I'm just not doing much. For me, honestly, how much money have I really spent having fun these last few weeks? $20 on beers. So this past month. This past month, I probably spent less than $200 out and about with friends. Mostly been doing walks, an occasional meal, but the meal has been like $7. So I think when I went to dinner the other day with a friend, it was like $40 for the meal for just myself, but that was with 2 beers. So, you know, you can see where that money added up real fast. But basically, saving more than you think you need is what I've been doing for it now. And I've been using this as an opportunity to store more cash. So when I assume the market's going to hit a bottom sometime next year, I will have an opportunity to really just buy a lot of stocks that I think are going to be great long-term holds. You know, I've been buying up some stuff now, but I'm really just holding on to a lot of my powder, so to speak, until next year. Like I bought some Amazon. I bought Amazon at $95. But if I go see it right now it's $85, right? So I just recently started my dollar cost averaging here, and I was like, you know what? I need to start getting into the market. I know it's not going to be good, but I've never actually bought in at a bear market before. This is my first bear market because the last bear market was at 2007, 2008, 2009. I was in elementary and middle school during that time. Yeah, so what I'm doing is just buying up a little bit here. And when we break down below this level over here around $80 and Amazon comes back down to the 60s or the 70s, I'm going to start buying more aggressively here. Hopefully it comes back down to the 70s and then really does come down to the 50s and 60s if I'm lucky, if we're all lucky. I want to buy around there. But you can see the death crosses here have already happened on the weekly chart for Amazon. Look at that. Death cross there happened a while ago. Death cross just happened there. Look at both times. Bad moves have been happening following them. You know, Tesla, I want to see this bad boy come all the way down to around $100 or so now. Before I was just telling you guys a few weeks ago, well, I'm looking for 125. Now it's fallen down quite a bit more. Mostly because it just came up so much. But I bought some Tesla. I bought it 175. It's now at 123. Small positions, but still. So that's what I'm doing right now. Just looking to buy some positions up, but really just holding my powder for stuff like this when it does fall down quite a bit. The only thing I think I bought a little bit more of, maybe more than I should, are two things. Microsoft, right? I bought Microsoft over here around 230. It's at 238. It's doing fine right now. But I do think it's going to break down below the 200 like everything else. So Microsoft should be coming back down to maybe the 175 range before everything's said and done. Maybe the 200 range if we're lucky. The other one I've been buying though, is Facebook. Facebook is below the 2022 lows. So I think Facebook may have an opportunity to go higher next year. Perhaps. With all the other stuff going on. It really depends on what they do with Meta and stuff. But I could always see in a scenario where the part of the market's doing really, really bad. But since Facebook has already dropped down so much from those highs over here, like way over here, 77%, where it could actually find a nice little rally. Other than that, it's going to be the typical story I tell you guys. I'm buying energy and healthcare. And I'm actually scaling out of some energy, but mostly haven't scaled out much of healthcare yet. But as far as like inflation and recession, I'm doing proper saving. I'm not really putting my money in places. Maybe I'll go over here very fast. Watch list. Here's gold. Here's the monthly chart for gold. It's fine, but COVID was right here. We boomed up, but just like everything else, we've been coming down quite a bit. And the way this is going, we may even have a death cross here across the 20 and the 50, And last time that happened on the monthly chart, we came down for a while. The weekly chart's on the verge of a death cross here as well. You know, gold isn't performing like I want it to for this type of scenario. We're going into a recession, inflation, interest rate hikes going up. It's not doing what I want it to do. I have gold. I will own gold for a very long time. I own silver on my fingers, right? But it feels like we're looking at a tipping point here based on how the moving averages are acting up right now. Maybe something will be very different this time because of everything going on. I'm not really putting much into gold right now. Primarily for me, if you want to like beat inflation and you just want to have your money doing something for you instead of just sitting in your account, which I know can be very annoying at these times, dividend plays. High dividend play stocks are usually what I'm looking for. They make me money while my money's sitting there. Or you can go with a natural bond. So you can just buy a 4% bond. You just wait a year and you get 4% back, or it depends on how long you want to hold it. But you could trade those assets there and just say, hey, I want 4% for this. You know, the rates are really high. That's why he's raising interest rates to make people want to put money there instead of actually keeping it in the marketplace. But personally, the way I'm playing it is I do have some dividends, but everything is really in cash. And I think it's okay to keep my money in cash right now because I don't know how bad the economy is going to get, but I think it's going to get worse than what it is right now. And then I'm looking to just buy up a whole bunch of stuff down the road. But yeah, I can make a little bit of a video about it saying, hey, here's what I might be doing with some of my money. But to be honest, I'm really just keeping it in cash because it's money I want to reinvest down the road. Have I tried peanut butter whiskey? I don't think I have before. It sounds familiar, though. I might have tried it. It might have been a peanut butter jelly whiskey, not actually just a peanut butter whiskey, but I'll have to try it. It sounds pretty good. And hey, Luis, any thoughts on Binance acquiring Voyager? No, so far it seems like they have the capital. Everything is perfectly fine with Binance right now. Hopefully they should be able to gear it up a little bit more, and they should be able to revamp the Voyager name, the Voyager app, so they can keep on working. But I don't know what's going to happen with this vote coming up because I assume people are going to vote yes to get it bought out by Voyager or by Binance. But we just have to hope there's no other big events happening. Because remember, they just got bought by FTX, and then FTX had their big implosion. Let's hope that Binance is not insolvent or not having any financial issues right now. Because if they are, it'll just be a complete disaster for the entire market out there. Texas, New York, Hawaii, and Vermont do not support Binance. I saw something they should get back USD, not crypto. Oh, that'd be kind of interesting there. No worries, Richard. I mean, it's even like Japan. Japan has very strict rules about how their crypto is worked out. So that means that the consumers over there in Japan are going to get paid out before all the creditors and stuff like that, which is very interesting. But for me, it's all about what Voyager does afterwards. I think I'm pretty confident that this deal should get done, but I was confident about the FTX deal. I have no idea how bad FTX was. But overall, I think it should be fine. I'm just curious to see how much money people are going to get back. I would hope for them to get at least, like, it could be 30 cents on the dollar, it could be 40 cents on the dollar, 50 cents on the dollar. I want it to be something, a good amount for people out there, and not like a 5 cents on the dollar, a 10 cents on the dollar, depending on how much money they had in there. But we'll have to wait and see what numbers get worked out once Binance actually takes control over there, because hopefully they can let people take out a little bit more to be nice, if that makes sense. But we don't know how that's going to play out. All right. But okay, buddy, I'm going to end the stream right now. Looks like the chat's kind of died down a little bit here. My throat's starting to get sore again, and I want to be able to stream with you guys on Monday and also do a little bit of talking tomorrow. I'll probably put out some videos tomorrow as well. But it was nice chatting with you guys. I hope you guys all have a very good Christmas, a very good happy holidays. I will see you guys on Monday night. So members will have a stream probably Monday afternoon. Everybody else will have another stream separately on Monday night. And then Sunday's Christmas. Spend time with your families. Have a good time out there. Or have a good time with your dogs like I am, because I don't like my family. But whatever you guys are doing for the holidays, I hope you guys are very, very happy. Have a good night, everybody, and I hope to see you guys Monday.